courts use to stay away from this stuff. You know, the 2006 Matrimonial Commission report stated, this isn't me, these are the judges of New York State. They took a poll, a survey, and in that report you will find it. They call it the Miller Report. Sandra Miller was appellate justice who was chair of that committee. A lot of money went into it. Came out in 2006. I still cite it. Judges were interviewed. They said, well, these are punishment assignments. We're dealing with children, family court, divorce, punishment assignments. We don't want to be in there. That's pretty scary when you think about it. If they're punishment assignments, why? This is your duty, this is your responsibility. You have to give it the time and commitment. Next case, next case. It's a punishment assignment. That's wrong. You've created a category of litigation that's inferior to the rest. Makes no sense. Criminal case, exciting. A lot of media there. You don't see a lot of media here, okay? It's a real problem. But I had to, these federal cases, these civil rights, constitutional rights cases, aren't many because they don't hear them in federal court. They leave it to these lower tribunals. Some of these are magistrates that are appointed. They're not even elected. And they don't even, some of them don't even want to be there. And so that low grade of litigation is actually fundamentally the most important litigation. And in my effort to turn it around, it's important that we understand what this right is, this natural right. And so what I did is I tried to flesh that out. We need more of these federal court lawsuits all across the country. John and I are working on a self-help kit for people who want to try it on their own, because what happens after a while, they bleed you, they take your assets, they wear you down, you can't even hire a lawyer. And they use support payments. It's just diverted to the lawyers. You are actually paying for the entire litigation. Shouldn't be that way. From the moment you walk in, they take the money that was intended for your child, they pay their lawyers, they pay for the court transcripts and everything else to finance the other side of litigation. Once the state has found its appointed custodial parent, that's it. Lines are drawn, you're going to be paying for the litigation, your children are suffering. But we need more of these sorts of cases because each one has a story to tell. And even if they dismiss and reject them, the more that are filed, the more the message is made in this fashion, eventually you will be heard because you have a right under the First Amendment to petition your government, your courts, for rights rather than take it into the streets. And the point I made was simple. There were two parts of that were important to me. I have two daughters, and I try to bring out what is genetically connected, a genetically connected right. We are one half the reason why they are there. We are also one half the genetic composition of that child, and as a result, there is a one half interest that you have in raising that child. Doesn't mean you're going to completely equal time or equal, everything isn't going to be completely equal in a relationship. But you want a meaningful relationship, and the courts have to enforce that. If you don't enforce it, then you have no right to collect money from either parent. In my case, I made it clear to the court that they can't enforce any right against me because you've taken my children from me. And if you've taken my children from me without cause, I should receive compensation for the loss of my children. They have it upside down. The biggest crime here is they're not only taking your children by forcing you to fight in situations that don't require it, but they are making you pay for the process that took the children away. It's an absurdity of a dimension I never imagined. I went to court when a child was injured, the parents got compensation for the injury if the tortfeasor was in the wrong and you were able to prove it. You got compensated for your loss. In this arena, the state's coming in, they are trying to assign some sort of fault, and it's correct. It's wrong. They're going backwards instead of forward. Chris is absolutely right. We need to be charting a course forward, not going backwards and finding fault. That's a huge problem here. That's what gets the battles going. But what we need to be doing is focusing on this natural right, this genetically connected right. And so I brought a situation out when I was, when my eldest daughter was very young. And we used to go up and down the driveway in our truck as even pushing a plow blade, and I shovel the snow now, and I know Tim's not coming back here when he saw those snow piles. And I come back here in the winter, he said. But I shovel them now to stay in shape because I think physically fit, you'll be able to carry out your fights. But at the time, I used to plow the snow, and my eldest would be in the car with me, in the truck with me. We'd go